It's been great filming on the Gold Coast, and actually it couldn't have been better. It's terrific crew. I mean, first of all, I mean, the weather here is great and the atmosphere is great, and we're living in Broad Beach and everyone's really enjoying that. So sort of on a comfort level, it's a terrific place to work. But professionally, I mean, the crews have been top notch. They literally have been probably the best I've worked with in the world. And the facilities are terrific. Village Roadshow Studios have been really, A, very helpful, and B, have really serviced us for what we need. They've got 8 stages, which we were able to use, filled them all up. They have a great tank, which was essential to our movie. We didn't have the tank, it really wouldn't have worked. But just the crews all around, and we have a huge base of crew out of the Gold Coast here. They've been working with us, and really professional and hardworking, and have really pulled off a lot of miracles for us. I mean, the nice thing about, I always feel when we come into a place like this, is we get to use so many vendors from all around the area, around the Gold Coast, and so we've really been able to draw on a lot of resources from around the area, so that's really been helpful, and especially when you're doing last minute things, you have to get something right away, and so we've been able to pull in things very quickly. So it helps a lot, that you have a lot of the facilities and infrastructure and all the elements we need to make a film, especially of this size, because it's a big movie. No, I'd never been here before, and that's what was great, is we had been scouting in very different places in the United States, and hadn't really found anything that matched. And when I landed here, it was more than just sort of seeing that it looked the same. It was just you felt comfortable. You knew exactly that this was how it felt up there, and so just instinctively it felt like the right place to be able to film here. And it's not only just the idea that it felt like California, but there were so many elements to draw from. We were able to get into farmland very quickly. We were able to shoot in a city that matched somewhat to San Francisco up in Brisbane. We used elements of the Gold Coast areas that we were able to use, so there were a lot of varying different looks that we could use that really helped kind of a movie that spans a big travel distance in our film. I think the number one is awareness, is people being aware, what the facilities are down here. It's always a constantly changing game, and particularly in Los Angeles, of who's involved and who are looking for what. The incentives is a big part of it. Every movie we look at to monetize the most value we can, and obviously the incentives help with that. That also outweighs, wages and fringe rates and varying other money elements that come into play when you're budgeting a movie, but certainly incentives are one of the number 1 issues to kind of deal with. Dwayne loves it here. All the actors loved it here. I think from the minute they landed, they loved it. It's an easy atmosphere. Having the beaches is great. The weather is terrific. It's one of those things you always end up with complaints eventually from the crew or the cast about something. And this is one of those instances where we never had one word of complaint. I think Dwayne found a great place to live on one of the canals. We all stayed in around the Broad Beach area, and there's just a lot to offer. So when you have actors that are kind of idle, they need just something to do. And I think they all kept themselves busy, and so it was a great experience for everybody. It couldn't have been better.